Here is my no bullshit guide to getting visible six-pack abs. All these fitness influencers are telling you to do leg raises and bodyweight ab exercises. It's all a waste of time. And if you continue to do this, you are never gonna get this result. You're burned out and you're so fed up of sticking in your little tummy. I'm gonna give you a very clear, straightforward system that I use to go from 20% body fat all the way down to shredded in just 6 months. I struggled many times to get abs despite going to the gym for a few years. This is a very simple system to follow and does not require much discipline. I want to educate you, and this will be the last video you ever watch on how to get six-pack abs. So stick to the end and I'm going to get you abs without the bullshit. Common myths when it comes to getting abs. And the first one is doing bodyweight ab exercises. This is a complete waste of time. I see it's always in this section of the gym where it's not where the weights are. It's in that little corner of the gym, and you probably go to the gym where it's where people have those yoga mats, they're doing stretches and they're checking themselves out in the mirror. Totally not me. But you see these people doing these ab exercises and they come up to me and they ask me, oh, how do you get abs? And I'm just posing and I just tell them, don't do any of that. What I do is I do resistance training with abs. This is a much smarter way to approach ab training. Think of it this way. You don't just do your biceps or chest bench press exercises for 50 reps. It's stupid. The ab is just like any other muscle. We are going to be treating it the same way. Progressive overload on abs makes my abs look ugly. If you train your abs too much, they'll look really big and very ugly, like those strong men like Eddie Hall that you see. The chances of that happening are so significantly low, and most people who go to the gym never even train their abs. At the end of the day, having abs reveal is a simple understanding. It's a math problem. It's about having your maintenance calories. I'll put a website link in the description to calculate your maintenance calories. And then being in a calorie deficit of anything below that, nothing too harsh, and eventually you'll lose weight after a period of months. And the lower body fat you are, the more chance are that you'll actually see your abs. And for most people, 10 to 12% body fat is when you'll see them. To do it with a processed diet, like all these influencers are telling you, it looks really showy and cool in the thumbnail to have a guy with abs who's just like eating pizzas, like processed foods. And it's not even for like a health reason as to why I want to put you on a healthy diet, which we are going to talk about. It's because it actually makes the calorie deficit journey to getting your six-pack abs so easy. And a common objection I'm going to get is, you might be saying, oh, I don't like eating healthy foods. Look, man, go on YouTube, look at some recipes, get innovative, ask ChatGPT for a list of foods from that chart, do some research, and just make some recipes out of it. Make a meal plan, do something. Or you can join my course, link in the description below, where I'll guide you through all the cooking and stuff that I would do personally, that I found easy to follow. What defines processed food? In my opinion, processed food is anything that has an ingredient list. You go to a supermarket, you look at the back of the packet, and it's got like 50 fucking ingredients written down. Stop eating foods like that. You want to be eating healthy, whole foods, vegetables, fruits, and I'm gonna put a screenshot on the screen of every food you want to be eating from now on. So take a screenshot of this chart. Now this chart is glycemic index ratings for different whole foods, very healthy foods. And what that basically is the lower the score, the glycemic index on that chart, the lower your insulin will spike. We established earlier that when you eat processed foods, your insulin spikes, which means that you're more likely to crave and binge eat, and it makes it very hard to follow a low-calorie diet, which is already as hard as it is. When you have foods that are low in insulin spikes, like brown rice and vegetables and maybe like water-based fruits, for example, when you prioritize diet like this every single day, you do a calorie deficit, it doesn't even feel like you're doing a calorie deficit. Isn't that amazing? So by being smart with how you approach your diet, you can feel satiated, full, and if you think about it, that's the only thing that really keeps you behind from getting a six-pack at the end of the day, right? It's having proper idea of not just like following a calorie deficit and then eating processed foods and, oh yeah, if it fits my macros. Like, it's not about what we eat, it's how we eat. All this stuff about intermittent fasting, like, you don't need to do any of this stuff. As long as you eat healthy, you abide by that screenshot that you just took earlier of that chart, and you eat those foods, take those foods, make meal plans out of it. But you want to just do that, because by doing that, it means that you'll be able to have enjoyable foods, and you spent time to make recipes with those foods, which makes a calorie deficit easy, which means that you're going to get abs in a healthy way, but it's also sustainable. You're more likely to stick to the calorie deficit. You're not going to binge eat and reset your progress. Like, if you think about like fast food, having thousands of calories of like pizza and burgers can literally reset like a whole week of progress. It's really hard to overeat when all you're eating is like vegetables, fruits, and like, yeah, you can eat bread and whatever. But like, if you just make that chart, not the end all be all, but just try to make it as part as your daily lifestyle when you go shopping, then you're honestly set. You're going to get abs. It's really just that easy. There's a transitional phase. It's to substitute gradually your unhealthy diet. So an example I'll give you, I spent months and months trying to follow a calorie deficit diet. I tried like carnivore, all meat-based diets, but at the end of the day, any of these extreme diets, I would just regress back into eating like Haribo sweets. I had a sweet tooth, so what I did was every time I went to the supermarket, I bought fruit and I made like a Greek yogurt bowl. I actually had that this morning. I'll put a picture on the screen, but I love eating that and I still eat it to this day. And that kind of satisfies my sweet tooth. And most of those fruits, if you again refer to the chart that I sent you to with the screenshot that you got, if you make a fruit bowl, low glycemic index, you're full, you've kind of satisfied your sweet tooth with natural sugars that are actually healthy, you're sorted. With that in mind, let's now move on to resistance training that you can be doing to develop your abs. So there is this common phrase that goes around actually, where it's abs are made in the kitchen. In my opinion, abs are actually made in the gym. They are revealed in the kitchen. And that's the whole dieting side of abs that we'll get into. Chances are, if you go to the gym and you do zero ab training like I've done, I'll put photos on the screen. Your abs might not look that bad. But the thing about not having developed abs is that I never really worked on my abs until kind of maybe a few months ago. And I really wish that when I was bulked and I didn't see my abs, while losing weight, I really wish I took ab training more seriously. You can see that my lower abs are actually underdeveloped. And if you have worse ab genetics than me, and my genetics for abs are really good, then you're kind of screwed. So you really want to work on getting that X factor look on your abs by doing resistance training in that challenging 8 to 12 rep range. You can do an ab crunch with the cable ab crunch is what I do. If you're a gym and you're fortunate enough to have a dedicated ab machine of some sort, then definitely use that. And if your gym really has fuck all, then you can just put a bench on an incline, then just get a weighted plate and do decline sit-ups. Any sort of weight that's going to be challenging in that, 8 to even 20 reps is okay. As long as you can advance on the weight and you can track it, your abs will grow, and this is exactly what we want. But don't listen to any of these influencers telling you that you can target lower abs. Just do an ab workout, like don't overcomplicate it. Now the final way that you can actually have abs, and this is more of a supplementary thing, cardio. Don't view cardio as the end all be all method or way to get six-pack abs. Instead, see it as a way to burn extra calories in your day, to raise your maintenance calories, and then to implement more whole foods into your diet, if that makes sense. When you do what's called zone 2 cardio, zone 2 cardio is gonna burn mostly fat, but if you're doing sprinting, that's gonna be like higher cardio zones. You want your cardio to be really easy. So if you want to go on like the elliptical bike in your gym, or you do a very light jog on the treadmill, as long as you can speak while doing that running or form of exercise, you might genuinely be running at the pace of like a grandma. But if that means that you can run for literally like 45 minutes, let's say, you burn like 500 extra calories, you can have extra whole foods. As long as you're able to talk, have a conversation during that form of cardio, you're doing the zone 2 cardio correctly. I've got a smartwatch from Garmin, so running watch. You can get an Apple Watch as well, which will basically track what zone of cardio you're doing. It can take your heart rate, but essentially zone 2 cardio is literally just one zone above walking, so you can understand it's probably quite easy. Now to conclude, here are your action steps. Abs are made in the gym. So what are we going to do to address that? We're going to be doing progressive overload resistance training on our abs, just like any other muscle. We're going to train our abdominals with cable crunches, with the rope, any dedicated ab machine if your gym has it. Second thing is our diet. So abs are made in the gym. Abs are revealed in the kitchen with our diet. And with your diet, you want to, of course, have non-processed foods, low glycemic index foods that does not spike our insulin, keeps our blood sugar very stable. That chart, take a screenshot of this chart, which has all the foods you want. Take as many of these foods as possible, the lowest scores, and try to make meals out of them. Meal prep it, meal plan, and then you're honestly on your way to get abs. It'll be so easy this way, because your hunger hormones and your appetite signaling to your brain is just very optimal, and it makes a calorie deficit very easy to do. And again, maintenance calorie calculator, link in the description to calculate your maintenance calories while you do this healthy diet. It will take time to transition to it. There is a transitional phase, but once you get there, it's very easy from that point on. Third and final thing, zone 2 cardio. Your cardio needs to be very easy, conversational pace, very slow. You should be able to talk during your jog or your cardio, running on the treadmill, wherever it is. You can do a bike ride, whatever the cardio is, needs to be easy. You're probably sick of listening to the same advice from influencers for years on end now, promising these results and fact-checking everything, and you don't have a community of like-minded men who are educated and honestly just not dumbasses and inspiring to be around, where you can share dieting knowledge and tips and have guidance from me as your coach to get you from an A to B transformation, just like I did, from 20% body fat all the way down to 8%. And I learned so much on my journey with not just how to get abs, but how to build this aesthetic body in a very healthy way. People don't do this shit in a healthy way. It's very unhealthy means to get to an aesthetic body. Where I am different is I like doing it in healthy ways. And if you want to be a part of a community that literally embraces that healthy part of life while also looking good, then link in the description to be a part of my community. You can have one-to-one contact with me. It's a paid program, and you'll be in good hands with not just me, but all the other members that join and really fuck with this no bullshit advice. Like and subscribe to push this video out to the algorithm to help more guys out just like me and you who just want real legit fitness advice. Appreciate you guys watching the video. It's your boy Bora. Peace out. Heck yeah, boy.